If you'd all like to stand, Reverend Carlisle is going to lead us in a word of prayer, and then we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. Carlisle.
Thank you. Let us pray. Dear God, we do give you thanks for this beautiful day. We give you thanks for the chance to live lives that enrich your earth. We give you thanks for this on this Veterans Day, for the people who have worked toward peace and who have sacrificed so much in the military. Bless them and bless their families. Lord, bless this time that we have now. Guide us, teach us, that we may make decisions and create action that enriches the next generation. We pray all these things in hope and in love and toward peace. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I like her voice very more. Yeah,
she did good.
She was practicing before. Yeah. Good evening, one and all. And the fact that we can have a prayer and we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thanks, veterans. Today is today. I will call the November 11th, 2015 meeting of the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Gallo? Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox? Mr. Percetti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Here. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, I entertain a motion for the adoption of the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's your turn. And the roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Percetti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. Item 4, agenda additions, deletions, and corrections. I have additional bills listed for payment, bringing that under the Treasurer's Report total to $520,151.26, and an additional resolution under new business, item 10A. Or is that just a change?
No, we added a bus driver substitute. We needed some coverage. So our original,
2 became 4.
no, 1 became 2.
I've got 2.
But yes, 2 became 4. I see what you're saying.
I got, yeah.
That's correct.
Yes,
The
okay,
2 listed and the 2 extra, yes.
thank you.
Yep,
And that's all?
that's all.
All right. Item 5, any correspondence?
No, not, and I'm sure Mr. Walgate will talk about it in his report, but just tip of the hat to the community for the Saturday night football game and rallying around the high school. How nice it was to see everyone come together. It was a great night. It's been a while since we've done that. I'm sure you'll hear more from Mr. Walgate.
Thank you. And item 6. Hello, everyone, reception to visitors. It's nice when the newspaper can't come in and find a parking spot or a seat, which Tom finally got to sit in. So, but welcome all. It's really nice to see all of you. Item 7, we have a report to the board, the McKinley STEM program. Mr. Garnieri?
Okay, well, I don't know quite how to start this. I guess I'm gonna start off with some of the expectations that we came up with for our STEM class, because it's all new and we didn't know. So the message I try to relay to the kids, I guess you can call them standards if you want, but I call them expectations. They need to have the ability to think creatively and critically, the ability to identify and solve problems, ability to accept and complete responsibilities, ability to find, understand, and further develop information, ability to work as a member of a team, to achieve common goals, and the ability to communicate effectively, orally, and in writing. And some of the things that I have here and some of the pictures will show some of these expectations, you know, in action. And so what we did was first we researched some STEM careers, talked about what STEM was. For example, we looked up civil engineers, aerospace engineers, electrical engineers, chemical engineers, etc. And then we had them, I grouped them, and they came up with a company name and a company logo, and then we designed the logos on the 3D printers. So some of them want to talk and say a little bit about how they came up with their names and talk about their logos a little bit, and some of them have their logos that they would like to show you. So if you want to get started, David, so you could just say what your company name is. If you want to stand, you can stand, or whatever. I don't want to.
Well, my name's David Sigler, and our company name was Bridge Heroes. And we named that because we knew that we were going to be building bridges and other stuff about our bridge.
Mm-hmm. And then talk about your logo, and you can
And
show them.
This is my logo, and I used a tool on the software.
Okay, right up there. Let's take a look at it. Thank you. Oh, very nice. Why don't you leave your bridge right there on the table? We can take a peek at that too.
Sure.
Tell us how you made
Be
that.
careful, there's pins in there. You might
Yeah,
get
I
pinched.
want those. And then the way that we made our bridge, and one of the problems that we had is that and we had a budget, and the materials that we use cost different amounts of money. And our budget was $15. We had to get under that. And we were too high of a budget since we used too much tape. So we used straight pins to fix that problem.
Yeah,
Don't you hate
what
it
was the
when
problem?
money gets in the way? I hate it too.
What's the material down on the bottom there? Is it,
It's tape, straws, and string pins.
It had to be 18 inches long, and it was the goal was for a baseball to be able to roll across it without stopping or falling off. So, and that was the next thing. After we did our name and logos, we did a bridge building challenge. So I had to give them the challenge first so they knew what they were building, and we called them all civil engineers. So their names kind of reflect that. Sam, you want to go ahead and show them your logo first?
Yeah. This is my logo. At first, I tried to make a gear.
I think you did a nice job.
What was your team name? Your company name?
Robotics Incorporated, because we knew we were going to do more than with the 3D printer and more than just bridges.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. And then here, show me your bridge too. So just a different style of bridge here.
Did you run out of money too? No, that's good.
tight budget?
No, but what was your problem there? What was your team's problem?
We needed stables on the bottom because it wouldn't work, because when we tried to roll the baseball across, it kept getting stuck.
Okay, good. Anybody at Katie? Go ahead, Kate. You can talk about the Halloween one after, but show me your robot. Go ahead.
We named our group Casual Engineers because the people at our table, my name is Katie, and then my friend Eliza, Lindsay, and Gage. So we took the first letter of our first name and made Kegel out of that.
Clever.
And then we added
Nice.
engineers because we're engineers.
Yeah, absolutely. Smart.
Marshall, want to go ahead?
Um,
That's okay. You can talk about it.
our bridge name, our company
Introduce
name.
yourself.
Well, my name is Marshall Hall, and our company name was TSG, or the Supporter Group. Reason why I picked that is because, like, almost every single bridge has, like, supports on the bottom to, help it stay up and everything. So that's why I chose that. few problems we ran into while we were building our bridge was, well, we ran into the bottom, like the middle sagging down when the baseball went over it. And way we fixed that, we put supports on the bottom, like maybe another layer of straws on the bottom of it. And then we tested it, and then it was perfect.
Good.
That's good. Good engineer.
Abby, you want to say something? Oh, yeah. Want to say something about? Remember, just tell me what you were telling me earlier.
My name is Abby Beal, and our company name was Solar Power. We picked that name because we just all agreed on the name. And we thought it was a good name.
That is a good name.
It is.
And talk about, remember what you said about how much was STEM class? She was telling me earlier about how much she just loves STEM class.
Yeah?
And I said, you know what, if you just talk about what you feel.
So Abby, how is STEM class different from the rest of your classes?
Well, STEM class was kind of like a time when we just, like,
Worked in groups?
we worked together on things. Like, our group, we made a logo. We did a circle with ST on it, and it had a crown on it.
So you had to work in groups and collaborate, talk things through, not just one person?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like that? Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you. And then the last thing we did was, when we were done with our logos and our bridges, and one of the kids said, well, Mr. G, Halloween's gonna be coming up. Can we make a Halloween symbol? So we said, you know, sure, go ahead, see what you can come up with and create. And they just did wonderful with it. We had an article in the paper the other day. I'm not sure what paper, but if you guys want to take a look at that, I think it was East Liverpool Review or something like that. And the kids have some Halloween stuff too. I know Sam brought his, and then Katie's going to talk about hers, which is pretty amazing, I think. So go ahead, Sammy. You can just show them actually.
This is my Halloween one. It's a spider and it says Happy Halloween, and there's a little pumpkin on the bottom.
I know this looks like a spider. Did a nice job with it. Oh,
This is what I made,
yeah.
and to get the eyes to go in and the mouth and the nose, it was pretty tricky. We tried the press pull, which makes it go in, and that wouldn't work. So I clicked on extrude and then put negative some number, you know.
Yeah,
And it
some
went
number.
in. And so the press pull wouldn't work, but the extrude did.
Yeah?
And to make it round like that and hollow, it was like just a curve, and the top side was smaller than the bottom half, so that's what made the top have an opening. And then I tried, I think, 3 different lids to try and get it to fit.
And the way I understand, it's okay if you try something and it doesn't work, right? Because you can always just try something else. Yeah, absolutely.
Really nice.
It is.
Good job.
Thanks.
And this is your pumpkin in the paper?
That's a different pumpkin. I don't think I was there for that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
yeah, she was absent that day, but a third grader made that pumpkin, Lou Craft, and he figured out how to make it and hollow it out. And then that was one of our goals because we had a pumpkin contest at the school.
Yeah.
So we said who can make the best pumpkin or hollowed out actual jack-o'-lantern, and so then those 2 students were able to come up with that. So it's pretty. It's been pretty good. I mean, the kids are learning about metric system and conversions and dimensions and how to scale something down and make it bigger, and all the different tools on the 1, 2, 3D. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing, and a lot of them, they're collaborating with each other and teaching each other how to do things and teaching me how to do things, and and then I relay the message to my other classes. So it's been very successful so far. In fact, Marshall wants to say something about what he did with his fire truck and with his dad.
there was this part on one of the Lisbon fire team's truck that was broken. It was one of the magnet sensors on it. So what me and my dad did is we took the old part that was broken right here. Here, let me get it out. We glued it back together. These two sides were broken off. We glued it back together to do the measurements. And then we ended up coming up with this exact replica of the part.
Yeah?
And there's a few pictures on this disc.
So let me ask you, is your dad easier to work with or harder to work with than your classmates? I know the answer to that. I know he's right behind me, and I know him, so. Good answer, okay.
The politically correct answer is.
And then, I don't know, we just have some pictures. I mean, it's real simple. It's just some pictures of the kids working and doing things, and we can kind of show that real quick, and then I'm done. I won't take up any more of your time. Apologize, there's no music or anything involved in this. Could probably put something. That's them building their bridges. It was nice. We were using the iPads to look at different bridge designs and that kind of thing too. And then these are some of the other pumpkins that were designed. Little Halloween symbols. And we call that a wolf. One of those was ones in the paper. There's stamps. A little Martian, I guess you can call it, but that was pretty cool.
Well, there's creativity in every one of those.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which is very nice to see.
Little monster head.
Is that you on a bad day, Mr.
Yeah,
J?
probably so. Everything we did, we had them, they're figuring out their budget. Everything we did, we had them do it on graph paper first before they actually went to the computer to do. There's a 3D printer. So they designed it on graph paper first and then took that to the printer. That's how we did the bridge with the ball. Some groups had, we made it tougher on some groups. We made it 18 inches, and then other groups we had 12 inches, which, extended the level of thinking there. Of course, we have the use of the computer lab also, so we kind of go back and forth between the classroom and the computer lab. Some of them even took their iPads in and actually took the picture of a bridge and tried to put that picture into the 123D program. So we'll see if it works out. That's it. Yeah. So are there any questions, I guess?
I'd just like to mention that I think we got some scientists there in our room here at a young age, but you did a very good job. I'm proud of you. But we just come back from a conference down in Columbus, and there was a lot mentioned about the STEM program, and they had a student fair down there, basically about what you're doing here, but it was on a bigger deal for kids all over the state of Ohio, and it was very interesting. Went through that, and that's what reminded me of these bridges in that, they built stuff, and it was all about science, technology, and mathematics all put together. But it's very good. So we'll look forward to seeing you down in Columbus someday, showing off. There was a school down there from our area. It was from Crestview that was down there that had a project down there. So
I'd like to mention that Abby and Marshall in 3rd grade, and Sammy and David and Katie are in 4th grade. So I thought it was excellent for them to be doing this kind of thing this young, get started this early. So
was it fun?
Yes.
That's good.
Mr. Kometz, any finishing thoughts on that?
You know, the biggest takeaway for me from listening to Mr. G and talking with him, and we've met quite a bit this year because STEM's new, it's a game changer. It's a time in education where it makes kids think differently. They are seamlessly going between math and science and technology concepts, which is what, you know, for years we've talked and tried to integrate, to allow kids to see application, to see things in use. I mean, you know, being able to problem solve. You know, I hear kids talk, they've made something and it wasn't right, so they go back to the drawing board. Just instilling that kind of, you know, wherewithal and so forth. I mean, that's a game changer. When you get kids involved at this age doing those type of tasks, it's allowing them to think differently, it's allowing them to be creative, it's allowing them to see results and then scrap it and go back and fix it. And I think every aspect of this is pretty powerful. So I think we're fortunate where we are, and with the staff we have, with the technology we have as a district, I think we're real fortunate, and we're ahead of the curve. So.
And not only that, but they're communicating with each other, they're collaborating, which is things that they're going to use in society as they get older, and things that we're really pressing upon them. So you guys did a great job in your presentation. We appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah, that was really impressive, guys. Really nice. And, you know, the electronics are important, and, you know, we've tried to get as much into the classrooms. The old days of just sitting there with a piece of paper and adding up numbers and putting your answer on is long gone. The future is now. And, you know, these things, especially if we can get them, as Mr. Kometz said, into lower grades and reinforce this for many, many years, we're then putting out a better product. And this just is amazing to me that you guys do so well. And you have trouble with your bridges, it's okay that you have a fail and you then work on it and try to correct it and get it so it works, because someone here can help me. But, you know, a guy by the name of Edison made a light bulb, and I think he failed 1,000 times, 3,000 times. You know, somebody I'm sure can Google that, but, you know, and then he came up with one that worked. So, you know, it's okay to not come up with an answer the first time. So, yeah, that was very impressive. Thank you very much for coming in. And with that, David, we have a little something for you. I can't reach. Can't reach it. Thank you very much. You got David too big. Sam. There you go. Thank you, sir. Come on up, guys. Katie. Marshall, and then Abby. Come on up. Katie, that's yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Marshall, thank you very much. There we go. We'll do it that way.
Yeah, with the printed thing.
That's right. And Abby, thank you, dear.
So Marshall, is the fire department gonna use your piece to,
Yes. It's already in. It's already on the new things.
If I could comment on that, I'm Marshall's dad, which I know pretty much everyone. This whole program, he came by home very excited. And we ended up going to a thing over the weekend. And we ended up buying our own 3D printer. And that's where we printed this part from. He came home very excited, and it's good to see the kids wanting to think. I mean, it beats a video game. I'm nothing against video games. We all grew up. I don't understand the new ones, but yeah, so we actually purchased one, and I had a part at the fire station on one of the trucks that was broke. It was $30 to replace it. So I said, hey, show me this program. He walked me through it, and it just blew my mind how well they've done. And I mean, the teachers and the STEM program, the board and everybody is to be commended, because he showed me how to do this, and it was really amazing. What, you know, so I'm just glad to see it in the schools, and I'd like to see it progress. It's just amazing. And yes, the part is on, it's working, and it's a very good program. So I want to thank you guys, and you're to be commended, G and the school board. So thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Nice job. Okay, we're gonna move on to the treasurer's report, and if anybody wants to, you're all welcome to stay. We'd love to have you, but
It's not as exciting from this point on.
it will get a little more boring because we're gonna be approving contracts and stuff. So if anybody wants to sneak out, we will not be offended.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you all for coming.
Great job.
That was great. Hey, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
for coming.
On the side of the tank.
Good to see you again, buddy. Good to see you too.
Thanks for coming.
You got it. Good job. Thank you, guys.
Graduate early? My word.
Whole house doing a dance.
I think Tom cleaned the room. He cleared the room. That's what happened.
Oh, that was death. Those kids are pretty amazing.
I was all excited with paper mache. When that was.
Paper mache.
I was.
They wouldn't let me around the paper mache. All right, item 8, the treasurer's report. Entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report as written.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Comment?
All I want to say is, in your packet, you'll see that there, I had to do an amended certificate of estimated resources due to the football tournament that we hosted. There's some rules and regulations required with that, so that was submitted to the county auditor. With that, I had to do a new appropriations resolution so that we stay in compliance with the auditors.
That one event changed all those things?
I'm sorry?
That one event changed those things?
Yes.
Ah,
Amongst other things, we had to rebudget the federal funds carryover. Those dropped in, so with that, we have to rebudget that, and that all has to be reappropriated. Okay, and then at the Capitol Conference, I was fortunate enough to be able to sit in on a seminar with the House Bill 64, and so we have a more clear understanding of how that's going to affect us. So more of that will be forthcoming.
very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And with that, we'll have the roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. I have 8B, entertain a motion for approval of listed bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. 8C, approve the amended certificate for estimated resources for fiscal year 2016 for submission to the County Budget Commission. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And 8D, approve amended appropriations resolution for fiscal year 2016 beginning July 1st, 2015. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call?
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And moving on, item 9, date of the next regular meeting, December 9th. December 2015 at 5 p.m.
With things to follow that night, as usual. Invitations forthcoming.
Very good. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 10, new business. Item 10A. Get my addition. Resolved, the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the following as classified substitutes for the 2015-16 school year pending necessary paperwork. Raymond Wittenberger, bus driver. David Hunsberger, bus driver. Roberta Irapoli and Melanie Glosser, bus drivers. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I'm trying, as you can see. I'm trying, I'm beating the bushes. We're working at it. It's better than it was last month. We continue to hone in on potential substitutes. We have someone later on in the agenda to fulfill the full-time route for the rest of the school year. So we continue to make progress. Hopefully it will not slow down.
Very good. Nice job. Thank you. The roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And item 10B, resolved the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the second and final reading of the following Neola policies as listed in the resolution. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
These policies haven't changed from last month. They will be, upon your approval, shipped to Coshocton, where they'll be put on our website for all to see.
Thank you very much. The roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And item 10C, resolved the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the following personnel as volunteers for the 2015-16 winter sports programs. Jeff Patterine for boys basketball. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Jeff has worked with us before in the same role, and as always, we appreciate when people volunteer their services, help our kids.
Absolutely. Roll call, please.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And 10D, resolved that the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the following athletic supplemental contracts for the 2015-16 spring sports programs. Head baseball coach Doug Andrick, head softball coach Dave Chrisman, head track and field coach Kyle Bing. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
These names haven't changed for quite some time. It's nice to have veteran coaches running our spring sports programs.
Wish it was just started.
Yeah. Skip winter.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we were talking about December meeting and then winter sports, but then we moved right into all the spring stuff, and that makes you feel better. The roll call, please.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. Item 10E, resolved the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the following activities, dates, and times for David Anderson Jr. Senior High School graduation. The class of 2016 will be held May 29th, 2016 at 3 p.m. at the DAHS Gymnasium. The Junior High Honors Builders Field Trip, grades 6 through 8, May 12th to the 14th, 2016, going to Chicago. The Junior Senior Prom, May 6th, 2016 from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. in the Gateway Clipper in Pittsburgh. The Parade of Fashions will be May 6th from 5:30 to 6:30 in the gym. The After Prom, sponsored by the junior class parents, May 7th, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Kennywood Amusement Park, West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Nope, it's nice to get these on the books so that we know when things are coming up, as they will be here before you know it.
Yes, they will. And the roll call.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And item 10F, resolved the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education accept and appropriate the following donations. $750 to the Lisbon High School Band from the Lisbon Lions Charities Incorporated. and $750 to the Lisbon Cross Country Team from the Lisbon Lions Charities Incorporated. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Again, can't say enough thank yous and appreciation when we get donations from various community organizations that help with our kids. And these two will definitely help, so appreciate it.
These will help. And the Lions Club has been very active, and we appreciate everything they do for the school system. The roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. Moving on, item 10G, resolve the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education accept the following certificated staff member's resignation at this time for the purpose of retirement. Jill Marini, elementary teacher. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Jill was a retiree hire. She retired last year. She's going to work throughout the course of this year, and then she's had enough and definitely ready to move on. And 1 year was plenty, and Mr. Kometz and I will be talking about staffing at a later time once she leaves for good. But I will tell you that Jill's time in Lisbon was appreciated. She had done a multitude of jobs, even serving as the athletic director at one point in time. And she's done everything we've asked, and she will have a great retirement. We appreciate her service.
Yes. And it would not surprise me if somebody told me Jill mopped the floor once.
Absolutely.
And what's the effective date of the retirement? I'm sorry.
It'll be at the end of the school year.
And the roll call, please.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
I guess
Yes in that time?
to clarify, if you put a retirement letter in prior to December 1st and it's accepted by the board, then you don't have to go through the Ohio Teachers Evaluation System or the OTES system. So you're free and clear of that. So we did that last year, and again, we continue to do it. But Jill is going to call it quits for good. So that's why you're getting the resignation, a retirement letter at this time.
Okay. Item 10H, resolve the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education issue a 1-year limited classified contract to Brenda Esmolot as a bus driver in the Lisbon Exempted Village School District effective November 9th, 2015. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
She started Monday.
Wonderful. Roll call?
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. And item 10I, resolve the Lisbon Village Board of Education enter a contract with Mahoning County Educational Service Center for services to students qualifying under Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities at a cost not to exceed $2,700 for the period from October 1st, 2015 through September 30th, 2016. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
This is something that we have been doing for some time. Like all good things, it was funded by a grant that has run out. So this is our share.
Thank you. No roll call.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes. Thank you very much. Superintendent's report.
Okay, Mr. Edenfield. What's happening at David Anderson?
We've had a lot going on and a lot about to happen since the last meeting and looking forward to the rest of the month of November. Towards the end of October, we concluded the first 9 weeks. I'm happy to report that 267 students at David Anderson made either merit roll, honor roll, or honor roll plus, which I think is phenomenal when you have over half the building making one of those lists. That speaks volumes to the job that our teachers are doing, not only educating them, but also keeping on them, motivating them, and encouraging them to do their best. Those students will be recognized in the paper shortly, and also a week from Friday. We've always done cookouts in the past or breakfast. talking to food service, looking to do something new this year, experiment a little bit, and so we're kicking around maybe doing a Sunday bar or something like that as a dessert for them, to recognize their effort. Just another way to do that. Today was our Veterans Day Assembly, put on by the Social Studies Department, most notably Mr. Whitman, Social Studies Department Chair, and our own veteran at DHS, and our only veteran at DHS, Mr. Tom Zeck. They did a tremendous job. Choirs performed, band performed, and it went off without a hitch. Great attendance. We had permission from the police department to block the municipal parking along the fence by the stadium for the veterans, so they would have easy access to the auditorium. And we had over 35 veterans in attendance today, so very successful program. On Monday, November 16th, that week of the 16th through the 20th, is the state trial online testing. For that week, schools can log in and test their capacity and capability to do online testing. And so since that's what we're doing in the spring, Mr. Kometz and I, along with Mr. Phil, planned on doing something the afternoon of Monday, November 16th, to test our bandwidth and the different other capabilities, so that we have time to adjust and look at the different things we need to do to make sure we're ready to go in April with the online testing. And finally, one other thing I want to mention is next Wednesday, the 18th, we're going to have 2 assemblies, one for the junior high, one for the high school. We're going to split the groups, but we have a speaker coming in, Mrs. Sauerwein, with doing the health and phys ed, and listening to some of the concerns of the staff. We are bringing a guest speaker in to talk about some societal issues with the youngsters, most notably sexting. So that will be next Wednesday in the morning. And then the 24th, as we head into Thanksgiving break, the juniors and seniors will take the ASVAB test over at St. George, and then the Make a Difference assembly will take place 7th and 8th period, as it traditionally has.
We have, it was some time ago, we brought Denise Weingart in from juvenile court to talk to our kids about social media, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we felt that it was time to revisit that again, because things have changed so quickly that maybe some of the things that we didn't go over at that point in time were pertinent to go over now. And Mr. Edenfield, with the help of Lori Sauerwein, was able to obtain a speaker from Mahoney County to come down and talk to our kids. And I think it's going to be well needed.
Is that for both junior and senior?
Yes, junior high is going to be at 8:30, and then the high school is going to be at 9:30. Each one's about 45 minutes each, I said.
And we thought the message would be a little different for junior high kids as opposed to high school kids, just based on the age.
That's why they do gear it differently. I forget the gentleman's name, but he is part of Ohio's task force with this through the Attorney General's office. Mrs. Sauerwein had the connection somehow. She was the one that was able to secure this for us. But knock on wood, and happy to say that we haven't had really any major issues with this. This is more from a preventative standpoint, and just educating our students. This isn't a reaction to anything. Like Mr. Sivky said, it's been proactive in the past, and we just want to maintain that and keep it that way. So.
I'm glad to hear those being extended to junior high also, just because everyone's learning everything a little younger age, and the message may be different, but
well, and I think that's the point, and I think that's how they gear it too. You know, the junior high students, the majority of them, at least hopefully, haven't gotten into this yet, or haven't really maybe had an experience with this yet. But if you educate them now, maybe they never will. So that's part of the message to them.
Any questions for Mr. Edenfield? Mr. Walgate,
Yes.
how are things athletically?
Oh, great. Things are going well. Closing up the fall seasons. we hosted the OHSA playoff game last Saturday night. Mr. Sifke mentioned about community support and everything that was going along with that. We had several area businesses step up and help with feeding the team, with the Touchdown Club, making sure everything was prepared for the kids, that made sure they realized a special occasion, were able to really enjoy themselves. Also, we had several community members help out getting things ready. When the state lets you host a game, as they say, there's a lot of requirements that we have to meet, and Vicki and myself will be meeting on Friday to make sure all those have been met. But I'm happy to report we sold over 600 pre-sale tickets for that game. The state will give us $1.20 for each pre-sale ticket that we sold, and there were 2,017 tickets sold total. So the stadium was packed, a lot of fans there supporting our kids, so that's definitely a great thing. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we will host our fall awards program. So we'll recognize all our fall sports and appreciate all the jobs they've done. Before that, we'll get kicked off with our winter parent meeting at 5:30. So as we're closing up fall, we'll move on into the winter sports as well. And then Wednesday, November 18th is our preseason winter drug testing, where every athlete will be tested. And then after that will be picture day for all the teams on November 18th as well. And as we're moving forward, November 21st will be our first girls basketball game, and December 4th will be our first boys basketball game. So coming right up around the corner.
How many mouthpieces did you bury? I've seen the paper.
12.
12 of them. How deep did you go?
I don't know.
They might start growing up to the ground. We'll dig them up the next time we go to and put more in there, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Any questions for Mr. Walgate? I just want to extend my thanks because I know how much time you put into the football game. And when you're putting in that extra time to do something special, other people have to pick up the slack. And again, we are all about team here. And we were able to recognize that you had some extra things going on, and the team concept happened, and we all pitched in and made sure that you had the time to do that. So did a great job, tip of the hat, it was top notch. We would have liked for a little better outcome, but it was a great high school football game. And after 12 years, it was well deserved for our kids. And did an excellent job hosting it. Any questions for Mr. Walgate? All right, Mr. Kometz, McKinley Elementary.
Well, our Veterans Day program, once again, was phenomenal. We have, starting in August, September, start preparing 5th grade kids, students to about a half-hour music performance, all geared towards Veterans Day. And so this year was no different. Their art classes and their music classes up to this point have led them to get ready for today. So when you come into McKinley this morning, the display case is Veterans Day themed, the hallway to the cafeteria, red, white, and blue. If you go down the cafeteria now, there's stars hanging. It is just so well decorated. So much time and effort put into it by the students, 5th grade staff, art and music staff, custodial staff, cafeteria staff. Breakfast kicks off about 9 a.m. this morning. Reverend Carlisle was there to give the prayer before the meal. It's just a great showing. There must have been, and I'm not certain, 65, 70 veterans who would sit with 5th grade students and eat and talk. And at the conclusion of the meal, the 5th graders go up on the stage and they give a performance, and the veterans are just, I mean, I can't tell you how many positive compliments I got from individuals today who had been there the last 5 years, the last 10 years, the last 15 years, and just talk about what a great thing it is that we do, and it really is. It's a nice program, it's a nice event, and this year was no different. So that was huge for us. And that happened this morning, but that's for a number of years. That's been McKinley's November event, is that Veterans Day program. Outside of that, I noticed the Lions Club, and I wanted to mention that, something the Lions Club did for us, and they do it for us every year, and some of these things go unnoticed, but I wanted to mention at the very least, in conjunction with Scullion's clinic downtown, the Lions Club, every year they get together and they coordinate with our nurse, and they do vision screening for certain grade levels of kids, and this year we did 1st and 3rd grade. And if Scullion's determines that the student needs glasses, the Lions Club will pick up the tab. And all of this is at no cost to us, and it's no cost to the students. And it's just a coordination of local businesses and local community organizations just getting together to help kids in any way they can. So it's such a, it doesn't have a dollar amount on it like the resolution, but it's if they determine something, and then our nurse coordinates between the families and the Lions Club, and they do pick up the tab for that. So we're very appreciative to have services like that for kids that need things like glasses. We also had another, we were awarded a mini grant, our nurse in coordination with the county for something they call Wellness Wednesdays. Kids get to eat and try new foods on Wednesdays in the cafeteria, whether they buy a lunch or not, whether they're, it doesn't matter who it is, anybody can go up and take part in this, and that's done through a grant that our nurse had applied for. So I just like to mention that we have people working for things like that sometimes go unnoticed, but they're really big, in terms of the kids and the families and the things that they do for them. So that happened recently as well. Supporting our local play, we're going down to the Playhouse. There's a play going on the 2 days prior to Thanksgiving. We get our kids down there very inexpensively. If it's a nice day, we walk down to the play across from the Leper Library and see the plays that they have going on. And we've done that for a number of years at this time, but those 2 days prior to Thanksgiving break are a good time to do that. And then, as Mr. Enfield mentioned, we will be the first, actually the 3rd grade will be the first group to actually do online testing right when we get back from Thanksgiving break. So he had mentioned the coordination between us and Mr. Phil about testing our capacity to do online tests. When we get into April, it's going to be really big for us. It's going to be a lot of testing at both buildings for a handful of weeks. So the test is going to be just that. We're going to pack our 2 computer labs with kids. We're going to pack his computer labs with kids, all at the same time, making sure we can handle, our technology can handle that. And so when we come back from Thanksgiving break, our 3rd graders will be taking the 3rd grade reading test. If you will remember that the only state test still around that has consequences tied to it is that 3rd grade reading test, along with the 3rd grade reading guarantee. So the first test is December 1st, and 2nd we'll be testing our 3rd graders, with the anticipated results coming at the end of January. So that's what we are into right now.
Any questions from Mr. Kmet? I look at the first 2 months of school, September and October, and I would say that I would give the district an A. A lot of collaboration over the summer to get us where we are. With that, we move into November and December, and we'll be meeting as an administrative team on Friday. Supervisors first in the morning, because there are challenges for November and December with the weather changing and with other things that we want to make sure that we're ready for. But I appreciate the work that these young gentlemen have done for the first 2 months of school. I think we're on the right path and we're moving forward, and we'll continue to work hard over the next couple months to make sure we continue that success. So Mr. Perchetti, myself, Vicki, and Mr. Gallo were able to attend the Capitol Conference here over the weekend, and we got some fresh ideas, some things that we want to make sure that through attending workshops and various things that we're up on, and we brought those ideas back and be sharing with them in the future. And with that, I'll conclude my superintendent's report unless there's any questions.
And hearing none. Entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, and a roll call, please.
Mr. Burketti?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Okay.